chapter, that is in the class 12th in subject data entry operation. As you can see on the screen, code number 336, chapter number 1, basics of computer. Now what is computer? As you can see on the screen, this is the diagram, okay, of computer. Now computer is an electronic device which takes raw data. What is raw data? Any random raw information or facts from the real world, right? Or from the user, from any source. So computer internally process that data and convert the data into instruction, right? And those instruction normally we are calling program, and it will give back a result to the user. So computer can process both numerical and non-numerical, means alphanumerical data, any type of data, special character like, okay. So who is the inventor of computer? Charles Babbage, okay. Now brain of the, what is the main device of the computer? That is CPU, okay. Where that is the brain of the computer. Actually CPU is basically called brain of the computer. Now look it on this page. This page will give you the information regarding the real working criteria of computer. Now computer always takes input, any kind of data, process it, okay. If computer needs its memory to process the data or to store the data permanently, so that thing is possible with this blocks external storage. After processing data, it will give back to the output to the user, okay. Now the main device of the computer, CPU, stands for central processing unit, as you can see on the screen, okay. So processor, CPU, microprocessor are the very important device at it, okay. Basically CPU is a brain of the computer. If I take the example of our human body is controlled by our brain organ. Just like that, the overall working criteria inside the computer is controlled by the CPU, okay. It will perform all the computer operations, whether they are numerical one or other data operations. Now furthermore, we can discuss few more points regarding CPU. So CPU basically having three major parts. As you can see the diagram on the screen, control unit, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit. These are the two domains by which we can accept the data from the input device, and we can display the output by the help of output device. Now this is the first part of the CPU, arithmetic logic unit, ALU. It is responsible to calculate or to manipulate all the mathematical operations, right? Since the concept of maths, we are very much aware that which kind of basic operation we can perform in the computer, like multiplication, addition, subtraction, right, division, other kinds of mathematical operations, like we can compare the quantities, like greater than, less than. So these kind of operations, computer always process with the help of arithmetic logic unit. Now next is your control unit. It is provide the overall, right, control on the devices. If I'll take the example of desktop computer are having monitor, keyboard, mouse, and CPU. These are the major units, major in devices which comprise a computer, okay. So overall control is provided by this part of the CPU, that is control unit. Now what is memory? Basically memory is used to store the data when computer is processing the data, okay. So there are two types of memory. Further in this notes, now we will discuss these type of memories in detail. What are the RAM, ROM, and what are the external devices, okay. So as you can see here, there are the two companies nowadays. They are very famous when you are going to purchase the computer, right, and especially CPU, central processing unit. So these are the companies who have generated CPU. First of all, Intel, IBM, okay, and AMD, right. Now next, Pentium class processor, okay. In the later 90s, now that was the very famous series P4, okay. Currently we are having a very nice series Intel Core, Okay, from the IBM side, and i3 to i7 processor we can use, and AMD also having their own versions, different versions according to their quality. Now CPU clock speed, this will decide the speed of your computer. Okay, means in a particular time how many instructions are going to be executed, right? So number of cycles per second computer can operate, it is depending on the clock speed. Majorly clock speed is calculated in the megahertz, right? 1 megahertz is equivalent to 1 million cycle per class. Okay, now 1 gigahertz equals to 1 billion cycle. Current speed is 2 to 4 gigahertz. Okay, now next you can see here basic processing cycle, right? This is the basic criteria where computer can process, how computer can store the information in the computer memory, right? How it can deal with the memory. This is the central processing unit, right? Look at the arrow direction here. And this is the another unit, that is internal memory. So data bus are the device or the way or the wires which are using to transmit the data from CPU to internal memory or internal memory to CPU. Okay, now next, memory. Majorly, what is memory? It is the storage space area where we can store the data in the computer on the temporary or permanent basis. If we're talking about memory, this is categorized into two categories: primary memory or secondary memory. Primary memory consists of RAM and ROM. Okay, and if we're talking about secondary memory, they are including so many types of device. One device, that is hard disk, which is 24/7 present in your CPU. And other devices like CD, DVD, pen drive, zip drive, they are the external devices used for storing and to take the backup of the data anytime. Internal memory, RAM. RAM is what? Random access memory. Okay, RAM stands for random access memory. CPU can access, when CPU is going to be process the data, that time it needs a memory to store the data for temporary basis. Okay, for the processing of the data. So that time RAM is going to be used. Cannot be read current info but also write new info. Yes, it can. What is the actual nature of RAM? Actually, it is always storing the current information. When computer will start the new task, so it will erase automatically the contents of the RAM, will delete previous one, and newer elements or contents of the data will going to be stored. So there is no information which is going to be stored on permanent basis forever, ever and ever. Okay. So if we are going to purchase a new computer now, so this is also a major concern point. How much of amount of data for RAM we need to consider. If we need higher speed of computer, so definitely we need a higher version of RAM, right? So very important in determining the capability of computer system. Normally 256 megabyte or 512 are normal, but in today's scenario now we are using so much data from the internet, right? So many types of heavy application we are using. So 4 GB RAM at least is suitable for current version computers. Okay. Now next is your internal memory. Internal memory, this is also the part of primary memory. What is ROM? Stands for read-only memory, right? As like its name, it can read info stored in the ROM, cannot write new info into the ROM. Yes, the nature of the ROM is fixed. Okay, it can never be changed, right? It is used for the internal working execution for computer. I'll give you an example. When we are going to start our computer now, that time, apart from BIOS now, ROM is also used, right? And when we are going to purchase the new computer, so ROM is not the concern of the point, right? Okay, now as you can see on the next page, these are the certain pictures regarding secondary storage devices like diskette, hard disk drive, tabs, CD-ROM. Okay, now here you can see floppy drive. Floppy drive. This is the first external storage device. Currently, it is not in use if I am comparing the time, but it was in the use before 20 years. Okay, so that time it was coming in these two sizes, 5 1 by 4 and 3 1 by 4. right? So all system now having storing the data, and these are having the high density to store the data. Okay, and next external storage device is hard drive. What is hard drive? The 24/7 stored in your computer system, right? Okay, and what is the uh, structure of the hard drive, right? So it is actually made up of the stack of platter in the circular way. They are binding one, and we can store the data, so much amount of data as compared to floppy disk now. So about to be 40 GB should be minimum. Nowadays we are having the hard disks in TB as well. That means terabyte. So can access info much faster than floppy drive. Okay. Now here you can see CD-ROM. CD-ROM, it is the very nice device. If we want to use CD, DVD facility, especially CD. So we have to install a device or insert a device inside the CPU to run the CD, right? CD-ROM. Okay, so musical CD, database CD, any kind of CD. So now CD in compact discs, basically whatever the content we have written, that will going to be written only one time, and it will store for permanent basis. We can't change it. Okay, so there is one another types of disk also available. DVD-ROM, digital video disk. Capacity wise, they are higher. They can store up to 17 GB of data, right? That means full length of movie, right? Complete 2 to 3 hours of movie, we can store it. Okay, now you can see here CD rewritable and DVD rewritable drives. What they are? Actually, these are the CD DVD, which the content we can store more than one time. Okay, we can take the data backup in the different way. They can store the large files. We can recording the music, multimedia files, everything. Okay. Now here you can see storage devices other. There are having USB drive, very popular, right? Minimum capacity is 64 MB, maximum 512. Tap drive is also like cassette tapes. They are also the resource of to take the backup of the data. Zip drive. Minimum capacity is 100 MB, maximum capacity is 2 GB. Everyday use and backup. Okay. Now, drives buying advice. 40 gigabyte hard drive, right? At least you should have to be purchased, right? If we have to floppy drive, they have given to you the instruction regarding that. CD rewritable drive, DVD not yet essential, but it is useful. Nowadays, na majority of the population who is connecting with the IT, information technology now. So external storage device, they are always refer pen drive. And current era is the era of cloud computing. So people are normally referring their data na to store on the cloud, on the web, in the form of Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, right? Now expansion slots, they are allowed to extend your memory area, right? Examples of card like network card and water card. If you want to access the internet facility from your computer device, first you have to allot certain kinds of device to avail the facility of internet. So these are the two devices: network card, Ethernet card, LAN card, right? IEEE 802.11 version type kind of version they are normally going on under network card. Modem, modem, what is modem? Actually, modem stands for modulation and demodulation. In our computer, there is a digital data, not a normal data. But in the telephone lines, always analogous data is going to be executed. So what is going on? Modem basically working as a converter. It will convert your analog data into digital and vice versa. Okay. Now here you can see next part, ports, right? Ports. This is also the connection points by which you can connect so many types of devices. Normally, monitor is the output device under the category of hardware. Or if I'm talking about keyboard and mouse and CPU, right? So all are connected, right? Every device we have to connect with the CPU. And if we have observed that CPU, na, at the backend side, there are so many types of ports, and by the help of ports, we can connect so many types of devices. So ports are categorized into two categories: panel port, right? They are primarily used to connect the printers, different kinds of printer. Serial ports are used to attach modem, mouse, keyboard. SCSI ports are used to chaining device, like if, as you can see in the diagram, if we have to connect the hub, router type devices now, so that devices we can connect with the help of serial port. SCSI, USB, I have already told you. Digital camera, you want to play certain audio video files with MP3 player. Other devices you can connect with the USB. Now here you can see history of computer. In the initial, we have already discussed what is computer, how it is process the data, how it is working. So this is the little bit information regarding the history of computer. So who is the inventor of computer? I have already told you, Charles Babbage, and he is famous with the name tagline, father of computer. Okay, he was invented and working on a machine analytical engine in the 18th century, right? After that, come in the field of computer, hardware wise, device wise, generation wise inventions were going on, right? So first computer was developed by ENIAC, developed by end of WW2, and first and second generation era is from the year 1950 to 1963, right? That time now the size of the computers are quite very large. They are the unreliable vacuum tubes. That means if one vacuum tube is going to be disturbed, the whole system is going to be disturbed. That time, this is the problem. That was the problem is was occurring that time. Okay, so now the vacuum tube is going to be replaced by the another transistor, right? Another device, that is transistor, in the third and fourth generation. And if we are comparing the size of transistor and vacuum tube, right, transistor are quite very smaller. So with the help of transistor now, scientists and computer inventor that time now were developed those kind of computer who is very small size wise as compared to first generation. Now what is the functionality of vacuum tube and transistor? Actually, vacuum tube and transistor kind of devices or integrated circuit devices now are used to process the information or data inside the computer system. In the fourth generation, that was the era of IC circuits, right? Now, in the history now, there are the different kinds of computer, microcomputer, mini computer, right? Uh, Supercomputer. Now, under microcomputer, from the initial time, Apple was the company who was very famous, right? They were sold their first microcomputer in the year of 1970 that was developed by Jobs and Wozniak, right? And parallelly, after 11 years, IBM personal computer was sold, first IBM computer in 1981. That was quickly accepted by businesses. Business firms were purchasing the computer system. IBM compatible soon developed, right? Later on, IBM have developed so many types of devices, and users were very compatible with those devices. Now, what are the impact in our social life of computer social impact, right? So first of all, if I am comparing the today's scenario, right? In today's scenario, what we are doing video conferencing. In this video conferencing, we are sharing the information, we are sharing the audio, videos, anything, right? So sometimes there is a threat to privacy. Yes, so many types of hacking and so many types of mistakes are going to be done, and by which we can lose our data. Reduce personal interactions. Yes, personal interaction, it will reduce. People are majority of the time busy in the technology. They are not interacting to each other. Displace worker and change workplace. Create too tired society. Yes, right. That means so many kinds of things are automatic. Computer failures cause great damage. Yes. If companies are relying only on computer, they are not taking their data backup time to time. So someday, sometime, if there are a certain failure occurs, so definitely there is a loss of data. Okay, not fullest, but partial one. artificial intelligence, very major, very nice, and current scenario, AI, right? Create a new life form, right? Almost, it is a drastic change in the duration of computer science. Machine is smarter than their creator. Yes, the creator are creating AI machine, and they are implementing certain kinds of algorithms now inside those machine now, and those machines are reacting very smartly as compared to the creator. Now, this is the very slight comparison between hardware and software, two very major important terms under the topic of computer science. Okay, hardware is what? The all computer devices are under the category of hardware, and hardware is what? That the thing which we can touch, we can see. Okay, and if I take the examples of hardware devices, so many types of input output devices we are having, like printer, monitor, disk drive, USB, keyboard, mouse. Software, they are the program, they are the set of instruction, right? Which is responsible to execute certain kinds of tasks. Okay, right? And by the help of software, so many types of application softwares are running, and by the help of application software, we can handle our computer system. So if I'll take the example of so many types of software like word processing, grade book, tutorials, games, etc. Right? Now, types of computer. First of all, personal computer, the computer which we are using in our personal life, day-to-day life. They are under the category of microcomputer, right? And they are available in the different size like desktop, notebook, tablet, and even our smart phone, handheld device, right? Our smartphone is what? It's a handheld device. Our laptop, right? And maybe different companies are launching the different kinds of computer. Okay, currently we are having HP, Dell, Lenovo, right? Asus. So many types of companies we are having nowadays. Types of computer, mini computer, right? Mini computer is what? First of all, the box, which you can see in the form of CPU now, if you're talking about desktop computer. So the technical name of that box is cabinet. Okay. And it is used for the small or medium sized companies and institutions, right? The companies which are having a normal scale of business, they are using. So actually, if I am comparing the mini computer with microcomputer, they are quite larger. Okay, so computer specialists are operate those computer, and different terminals are used by many people, right? The company employees. Now, next category, next type of computer is mainframe. They are very powerful as compared to previous two type, microcomputer and mini computer. They are very faster speed wise, and large corporation MNCs and government agencies are using those mainframe, right? And they are operated by computer specialists. Now, types of computer, supercomputers. Okay, this is the, if I am comparing the size now, this is the most largest computer under this category, most powerful, most fastest, and most expensive. Several $1 million or rupees of amount, currency of amount is going to be involved, because they are not working in a single office in a building. They are almost working in a server station, right? Government or agencies or large international companies, suppose Google. If Google is going to be use the computer system for their Google server stations now, so normal kind of mini computer, microcomputer, right, are not going to be used. That location, always supercomputers are going to be used. Okay, now have a look here. The another category, very main topic of this chapter, hardware. Okay, and according to your syllabus, hardware are divided into two categories: input device and output device. So as per the syllabus demand, this is the total list of your input devices. One by one, we are going to discuss. Okay. Now, input device accept data and instruction from the user. That is the real functionality of input device. So here are in this list, we are going to discuss one by one these input devices. like keyboard, mouse, light pen, optical magnetic scanner, touch screen, microphone for voice as input and trackball. Okay. Now, what is keyboard? The first device in under this list, keyboard. What is keyboard? Keyboard is basically a most commonly input device. By the help of keyboard, we can input the text. We can type the text. We are very much able to type the text. Now, ergonomic fit natural hand placement. That means currently the keyboards are going to be designed according to your hand comfort. The people who are having normally 8 to 9 hour working are right with the computer, and typing work and other types of work are going on. So every time we need to type or doing something, right? So definitely the shape of the keyboard is going to be very comfort. It will not harm our wrist bone, any other kinds of problem in our hand. Okay, so there are few special type of keys which we can see and observe, like backspace key, numlock key, escape key, tab key, cap locks key, shift key. You can see here different keys are there, right? Okay, so enter key is used to every time to enter the new line. Arrow keys, these 4 arrow key, up, down, left, right, will going to be move your cursor direction wise. Okay, now here you can see second input device, mouse, right? Basically it's a pointer device. It is used to control the operation on the screen, right? You can do the overall control of your screen. As you can see, I'm moving the my mouse pointer here. You can see on the screen that white arrow. This is what? This is my mouse pointer. I'm moving somewhere. If I want to select any of tab or option on my window, I can do it. Maybe okay, if we have to discuss mouse actually are categorized into 2 to 3 categories, right? At the initial stage now, mouse are coming in the mechanical order, right? They are mechanical mouse, right? Simply a track, a ball is fixing there, and according to the ball movement, now pointer is going to be controlled or rotate over the screen, right? After mechanical mouse were launched in the form of optical mouse, right? So there is a LCD light by which the focus or pointer of the mouse can going to be controlled, right? Currently we are having wireless mouse, right, which is used without wire, and they are controlling the screen as well. Now the third kind of input device, that is light pen. Okay, so light pen is what? Okay, light pen is what? It is an input device again. It is having a light sensitive detector, by with the help of these detector it can right, we can touch that light pen to the screen in the different place. It can observe the data and it can react accordingly. Okay, basically light pen always working like a mouse. We can use different things with the mouse pointer. Now we can select different types of options, so that same job we can do with the help of light pen, right? Now the fourth type of input device is optical scanner. Okay, first of all, if I am going to talking about a scanner device, now there are 3 to 4 kinds of scanner devices. Like, first of all, what is the job of a scanner? Actually, whatever the hard copy we are having, right, and if you want to save that same file, right, in the form of soft copy in our computer now, that work we can do with the help of a scanner. A scanner will get the image of that particular document, make a soft copy inside the computer and store it somewhere. Okay, that is the job of a scanner. So if I'm talking about a scanning device, now there are different examples of scanning devices like barcode reader. If you have, maybe before you have visited a departmental store or mall, when you after shopping, right, when you will go for the billing counter, they are having a handy device now to read out the barcode. Okay, so barcode reader is what? They are the thick and thin lines. Okay, right? And optical character recognition is what? These are the device which is used to read the character and convert into the text, digital text. Okay, there is a MICR, magnetic in character uh, device, which is used to read the code from the check, right? And there is the so many other things as well, okay, like OMR sheet. When we are going for entrance test, we are opting the objective exam. So there are the mark round circles, black with blue, right? They are observing those circles only. So that work is done by the OMR, right? Now here you can see the next input device is touch screen. Touch screen, the biggest example of this device is our smartphone. Nowadays, we are using our smartphone, right? So many applications and things we are going to open with the help of touch. We can tap different options by the finger touch, and that is used, right? So touch panel display and pads are now being offered as alternative to the keyboard. Okay, user touch electronic button displayed on the screen or the maybe light. As you can see, I am fixing a picture here. This is the laptop pic, right? And the screen is the touch screen. Okay, so by the finger touch we can open, right? We can open so many kinds of things here, right? Okay, now here you can see next category of input device, microphone. Look at the picture over here, right? Microphone is the input device which takes voice as an input. Okay, whatever the um, language we are going to speak, that will be recorded. Okay, recorded somewhere in the computer memory. So if we are talking about the microphone, they are having the two category, desktop microphone or a handheld microphone. Okay. Now in this list, there are few more input device like trackball. As you can see, the picture trackball, it is a pointing device also. It is just like the mouse. I have given the example of mechanical mouse. In the mechanical mouse now, what is going on? At the bottom side, there is a ball. And when we rotate the mouse, right, on the flat surface, now, the mouse pointer is going to be managed by the movement of that ball. Okay, same like that. In the trackball, now, the ball is always situated on the upper surface. And with our finger, we can move the ball to control our pointer, right? So the user rolls the ball with the finger directly to move a cursor. Trackball are common on portable computer, laptop, where there may be no desk space to run a mouse. Okay. Now here you can see input device. There are only other input devices are as well.